Hello out there. Today we're going to be doing an oil change on a Coleman CC100X. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to start off with, now the kit comes with the owner manual, so you're going to be needing an 8 and then a 10. So I just go ahead and got me a couple of sockets, just make it easier for me. So what you want to do first is unloosen the protected bracket. All right, get that off really quick. Keep everything where you can find it later. So my little tool over here. And take out the middle socket, and it'll pretty much just fall right off. And this is the protection for the chain, the debris and other things that may come your way. All right, and that just slides right out. Pretty simple. 2 sockets. Set that to the side, and then now this will be. That was an 8, and so now I'm going to switch to my 10 millimeter. And so got me a little socket right here, kind of like use extended because it's got a little sleeve right there. So go ahead and get that bad boy on. And as you can see, I have it propped up on my stands. So give the oil some leverage to drain out of the pan. All right, take that off, and there's one on the bottom too. So that kind of stays in there, so you don't have to worry about that falling anywhere. So I go under here, nice and snug, not too snug where you can't get it back off. Couple more turns and I'll have it out of there. All right, almost there. There we go. Just like that. And I see that one came all the way out. So I just kind of put it back in there to kind of keep up with things, because as you work on any project, you want to keep up with the nuts and bolts. All right, so now I got that off. So a good idea is to kind of clean up some debris. Now I do have some Champion lube chain. I tend to keep this on deck. You know, I spray that chain off to keep it clean. As you can see, a little buildup comes around. So, you know, keep some of this, you know, helps keep the chain lubricated and protected from wear and tear, because it is essential to keeping your Coleman CC100X going. My son, he rides this faithfully, so just want to keep it cleaned up a little bit. You know, just wipe off here and there. No big deal. You know, keep things smooth. All right. And so next, what I'm going to do, as you can see, here is the oil measurement. So we're going to be filling that oil up momentarily. Just kind of want to show you where it is. So as you can see, it's getting a little dirty there. So I want to make sure we clean that off. And he's been riding for a couple months, but not every day, but just when he gets bored and want to get out the house and have a little fun. So definitely kind of measure it. And you can see it's a little dirty. So we want to definitely take care of the engine. All right, as you can see, when I put it back in there, nothing on there. So I know it needs time. And plus it's leveled. So if it was normally sitting level, you would see the level. So when I fill it back up, it'll be in the rings and you'll see that. So now, when I do change the oil, I'm gonna go ahead and put this under here to catch the oil. Don't have much wiggle room, but put it right here. And I don't know if you can see it from that angle, but the oil plug is right back here. Okay, so what I'll do, as I get that one off, and I believe it is a 10 millimeter. Not really sure, but I'm gonna find out here in 1 second. And yes, it's gonna be the 10 millimeter. So you can either use a socket or in the toolkit, whichever you prefer. So I'm gonna go ahead and get in there, crack that bad boy. All right. see the chain is pretty loose, so I'm gonna have to move the motor mount back a little bit. It's a tight space, so I would like to be going a lot faster than this, but I'm just working with what I got. And I hope I have my jack stands up high enough. All right. It's coming. It's a slow process, but gotta be patient. Let's see if I can twist with my finger. And in a moment, the oil should be gushing out like the Beverly Hillbillies. All right. And as you can see, that oil is black as night. So it definitely needs to be changed. I think I should have had my jack stand a little higher, but we'll clean the mess up. As long as it has somewhere to drip to, or drain to. And I suggest changing the oil, I would say, you know, about every couple months, or just keep checking it. And check the, alright. So as you let that drip, alright. And I'm gonna go ahead and lift it up a little bit just to see if I can get more to come out of there. I think that's about all the oil's gonna come out of there. Back on there. All right. Go ahead and plug it back in. Try your best not to cross thread it. Slick. I think what I do is put the socket back on. I think that makes life a little easier. Use a little tight fit. All right, now after all the oil has been drained out into the oil pan, now I'm gonna tighten the oil plug. So give that a few twists with my fingers until I can't tighten it anymore. And I'll let the ratchet do the rest of the work. And you know, just kind of tighten it to where it's nice and snug. You don't want to strip any threads in there. All right, so now got that back on. And what I like to do is just before I remove that oil pan, just kind of wipe up a little bit. You know, wash down there. You know, you want to keep the surfaces and everything pretty clean. And as you see, there's those two bolts. This lets the engine slide back and forth, so if the chain gets loose, you can always push it forward. So the actual chain stays tight. You know, if you ever have loose chains, that's the trick of the trade. You just want 4 bolts that holds the motor in place, and you can just slide it forward, and it'll get the chain back tight. I can see it's a little loose, and I know I'm gonna have to do that today too. So I'm saying just kind of clean up the oil spill. And you want to keep the engine clean as possible. And I'll be going back through here to clean up a little more. Just want to show you the flow of things. All right, so let me go ahead and remove that oil pan. All right, now, so what I have done is I have removed the oil pan. But before I remove the oil pan, I went ahead and put back on the socket for the oil drain, tighten that, make sure that's secure. And then I removed the bike itself from the jack stands. All right, so now on page 10, it does recommend 10W30, and it does give you other options of oils to use. So I just went ahead and went with the recommendation of the Coleman manual. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace the oil now with the 10W30. And I would suggest not using synthetic because it does not recommend synthetic. I watched other videos and do not use synthetic. All right, so now, and what I've done so I can get a great level reading when I fill the oil back in, I put just a little block of cement, a little brick, and it's about 1.5 inches, so that gets it back level. So now what I'm gonna do is go ahead and get my funnel and stick it right there. And I'm just gonna add just a little bit at a time because I do not wanna overfill it, you know, so and have to do the process all over again. So kind of get into this. Should have had that already taken off. All right. So I'm just gonna slow motion a little bit and put a little bit in there at a time. Right. And then there's not really an accurate reading of how much oil to put in here, but I just want to get it up to where the rings. And so when I do measure it, it's gonna have it on here low and high. So that'll help me out. So right now, just put a little bit in at a time. Don't want to overdo it. There we go. A little bit at a time, just look again, see what you got. All right. A little bit more at a time. It's gonna make a little mess. Keep a little paper towel around just to keep overflow. All right, and then look again. Still don't see it on the ring, so I keep going. All right, still don't see anything yet. So keep on pulling. So right now I'm about like a 1/2 quart. So keep on going. All right. Right now, I do see it's coming back out. That means I probably put a little bit too much in there, but you know, that's okay. I'll work that out here in a moment. All right. Get that out of the way. Kind of wipe up any spillage that you may have. All right, then I have my trusty measurement. It's over here. All right, and since it is level, I have an accurate reading. In there, bring it back out. All right, let me go ahead and fire it up and see what she sounds like. All right, fuel on, turn it on, take out the choke. Pulls.